Tonight we bring you an in-depth look at a technological revolution sweeping through the classrooms of Oregon. Artificial intelligence, once a futuristic concept, is now making its way into the heart of our education system. From the picturesque landscapes of the Pacific Northwest to the bustling classrooms of Oregon schools, AI is rapidly becoming an integral part of the educational experience. What'd you think of that? Sounded pretty good, didn't it? Not too bad for a computer. Yeah, that intro that I just read, that was written by artificial intelligence. Kind of crazy. Our producer asked ChatGPT to write a TV news story about AI in schools, and that's what it came up with. It's a lot more wordy than what we usually write. In TV, we try to keep it short and conversational, but you'd definitely be able to tell if AI wrote our entire show. But like it or not, artificial intelligence is all around us now, and it's only going to get more prevalent. As your kids start the new school year, you can bet conversations about AI are going to come up in their classrooms more and more. Many of them are already using it as part of their learning, so much so that the Oregon Department of Education has released some new guidance for schools around it. It's not rules or policies. These are just things for school districts to keep in mind when it comes to deciding how they want to use AI. Specifically, bias. Since AI uses algorithms created by humans, they say biased information could become part of the system. They also want users to be on the lookout for inaccuracies, plagiarism, and copyright issues, as well as student privacy. And they say schools need to keep in mind that not all students have equal access to AI tools. The State Department of Education says there's potential for both innovation and risks when it comes to using AI in the classroom. For instance, let's hear from a student at a school in the Seattle area. He admits he was using AI to cheat on a math test and that he got away with it, even when a principal saw what he was doing.
I wanted to pass it. It was my final for that class. And the principal walked up behind me. She was just like, "Oh, you're using AI, cool." Like, she didn't think anything of it.
Maybe the students ahead of the adults? That wouldn't be the first time. That student says he did indeed pass the class. In another instance, a school district in New Jersey is using AI to try and stop mass shootings. They're one of hundreds of schools across the country using a program called Zero Eyes. It uses security cameras coupled with the company's AI software to detect guns. A team of humans verifies the images and alerts authorities. The idea is to try and get alerts out to school security and police as fast as possible. But the technology can only detect guns that are seen on camera, not hidden. Here in Oregon, the Oregon Department of Education says they're not currently collecting data on which schools are using AI or how they're using it for that matter. But they say expect both students and teachers will use generative AI, things like ChatGPT, which generate responses to a prompt that you give it.
But for example, creating materials that meet a wide variety of student need, instructional need, very quickly and with a lot of efficiencies. Producing reading passages at various reading levels, producing various styles of writing examples for students, even translating into different languages for linguistic access. Much of it, I suspect, will take place along the teacher planning side of teachers producing and using the tool before being in the classroom. That being said, really depending on the age and what's developmentally appropriate for students could interact with it.
AI is likely to become part of the future of education and a big part of the world that we're going to live in. How do you feel about that? We especially want to hear from you teachers. Are you using AI in your classroom, or are you keeping it old school? Send an email to thestory@kgw.com or call and leave us a voicemail, will you? The number 503-226-5090.